Samantha from Jessama Tutorials here, and welcome to the third part of our project using the dead wood stamp that we made. So today we are going to finish off the project by making a bracelet and a necklace. So I'll start with the necklace first, and I'm going to be using sari ribbon. And so I've trimmed it to size. It's going to be a choker because this needs to sit right up against the back, against the front of the neck. So it's quite a short necklace, and I've measured it to fit me. And what I'm going to do is we're going to start by just twisting the ends over here to get them together. Then I'm going to bring over some Nymo thread, and this is just white, and I'll take those ends and just retwist them. And what I'm going to do is I am going to wrap that Nymo thread around here, and you need to do this as tight as you can because this is going to be tying all of those pieces together, and this is where our end cap is going to go. So I'm doing lots of loops. Okay, almost done, so I'll speed this up. There we go. And we'll just tie off the end. So you can see it's nice and tight and it's not going to be coming off anytime soon. Hopefully that is. It shouldn't come off because we're going to be putting glue on this as well. So it'll be a nice secure bond. Then I'll bring this through. I used to be so good at tying knots when I was younger. I got into so much trouble for it, but now I find it hard for some reason. Guess I haven't been practicing enough. There we go. Oops. And we'll just tie it a few times, and then we will bring over some bugtail. Doesn't matter what cord you use this time around. It's just that we want to bulk up this end a little bit so that we can fit this in. So I want to see how bulked up that needs to be. We actually might not need to. This little end bit needs to be trimmed so it can fit in better. There we go. And we'll see if that needs bulking. Yes. Okay, so I'll bring over some bugtail, and this is just some silver, and I'm going to cut off a small amount. And everything we're doing on this end we will repeat on the other ends for the necklace and for the bracelet. So I'm going to tie around over there, and I'll tie another time, loop around, and I'll make one last tie, and then that will be it, and we'll be ready to put our bead cap on. Our bead cone, I think. There we are. Oops. Give that a really good tug. And I'm going to trim as close as I dare. You don't want to trim too close because otherwise it will unravel on you. But you don't want any tails. There we are. Okay, and then I'm also going to grab hold of these ones down here because we don't want that tail either. So I'll trim those up as well. And then I want to bring all of this up so that it's not facing down and coming out of the bead cap when we fit the bead cap on. And then we'll bring over our E6000. Okay. And here's our E6000, and you need to work quick because it spills out of the nozzle. So I'll just start from the top and dab on that glue. There we go. And I'll also do the sides. Okay. And then I'll quickly pop that cap back on so that it stays in the bottle, which is where we want it. And then we'll feed all this into our bead cap. We'll have a little bit of excess glue sometimes. So what I do is I just take my plier, and this glue comes off really easily. It's kind of elastic once it's secured. So if you get it somewhere you don't want, you can easily take it off. Okay, then I'll bring over a skewer and I'll just push this in to make sure that it's in. Okay, and I'll just do a little bit of clean up over here, and there we are. That's all we need. Now no pulling, don't want to be pulling this. Okay, and then I'm kind of just gonna intertwine these threads just a little bit to muddle them up. Then we'll bring over our bead and bring these cords up, so I'm putting it all through at once, and twist, and we'll feed it through one hole and we'll feed it through the next, just like that. Okay, and I'm going to pull on all the strands so that it's tight. Okay, so here's what the front looks like, and here's what the back looks like. So now I'm just going to mix those threads up a little bit more before we put the bit on, and then I'll repeat on this end what I did on this end. There we are, all done. Now I'm going to bring over 2 jump rings and our clasp, and I'll bring over the pliers that we're going to need as well. We'll just open up that jump ring, slide the clasp on, pop that through the loop on here, and close up. Just make sure to close up properly. Okay, and then we want to do the same on the other side. Okay, there we are. So now what I need to do is I must make sure that this is finished drying before I check the size, and I think it's a little bit small, which is fine because it's better to be smaller than larger. This will basically go around the neck, but I think I need to add a tiny bit of chain on each side of here. So I'll check once these cord ends are finished drying, because if I tried it now I'd probably pop them right out. So this needs to cure for about 24 hours before you actually wear it, and we'll move on to the bracelet in the meantime. So I'll bring over that sari ribbon, and now what I've done with this one is I've actually ironed it so that it appears flat, and so you can see that I folded over the edges, and so now it's a little bit more tidy. So it's a different style to use with the sari ribbon, I guess. So here's another one. Can be a little bit tedious to get it to sit right, because you need it to fold over right. There you go. And then we've got another piece over here. So this I now need to grab the ends of, because now you want to measure this to your wrist. So I'll just twist the ends. Okay. So I'll chop off this bit. Okay, and then I'll just double check. If I can get my wrist around it. Okay, that's good. So now what we'll do is we'll do the same as what we did with the other one. We'll pop a little bit of an end cap on the end. There we are. Now I'm just going to get these cords together, straighten them out, twist the ends just like we did last time. Thread that through, thread it back. And there we are. And then we do the other end the exact same. And there we are. So now we're ready to finish it off. So I'll bring over 2 jump rings as well as the clasp. And we'll just do what we did before. We'll open up the jump ring, string on the clasp, and pop that through the loop on the end. Okay, now these are still very wet, so I can't be messing with them at the moment because otherwise they won't be very secure. So I need to leave these secure for half an hour, at least half a day, so about 12 hours before I can mess with them, because I want to make sure that they're properly cured. There we are. So that's going to look like that, and so I can see that that's going to fit pretty well. So I'll pop that off to the side and we'll let that cure, and I'll show you what they look like when I'm done. Okay, so it's been about 12 hours to let the glue dry, and so I measured the bracelet to my hand and it fits really well. So this one's good, very happy with how that turned out, and the curve works really nicely for the bracelet. So if I put that on to show you, it can be a little tricky to get it in, but once you get it in it's good. There we are. And there you can see that the curve works really well and it just sits really nicely, so I'm quite happy with that one. And then this necklace, I needed to add a short length of chain because I measured it to my neck, and so I needed a little bit of length of chain. So I opened up the jump ring, put on the measured amount of chain I needed, closed up the jump ring, opened up a link in the chain and popped the clasp on and closed the link, and that's all I had to do. And so now it's the right length for it to be a choker for me. So it sits right up against my neck. This sits flat against my neck. So I'd like for this to be curved next time. This looks nice, but I think the curve would also work really well. So that's basically it for this tutorial. So I do hope that you found that project tutorial helpful and that you learned lots of new tips and techniques, and will be willing to try your own beads next time, hopefully. And hopefully the stringing was a little bit new to you, because I put a lot of thought into that, and so hopefully that was new as well. So if you did like this tutorial, please let me know in the comments below, as that is always encouraging to me. And please do check the links below, as there will be a link to my membership on Patreon, where I have a bunch of complex project tutorials. I have posts once every single month for every single tier, so be sure to check that out, as there's a bunch of stuff on there that I'm sure you guys will love. And I also have my Etsy shop open as well, where I am selling my texture stamps. So this texture that we used on the beads is available on my Etsy shop as well, if you wanted to use that texture. And also please do check out the links below to my website, because I have a list of the supplies. I have a downloadable shape template so you can get the exact same shape for the bead, and all sorts of things that I'm sure that you guys will love that I can't put onto YouTube, so be sure to check that out. And as always, I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.